On Capitol Hill, it's hardly business as usual as the longest government shutdown in history dragged into its fifth week. Some lawmakers have returned to their home states in recent days while they wait to vote on a potential solution. Arizona 360 caught up with newly appointed Senator Martha McSally this week. During her visit to Nogales, our discussion began with her decision to postpone her pay until the government reopens.
Well, right now we have 800,000 federal workers who are not getting paid, about 400,000 that are on the job, especially those that are in law enforcement, not getting paid. I thought it was the right thing to do to say, I'm with you, I got your back, I'm standing with you as we fight to break this impasse, but I'm also not going to get paid during this time, and we're going to work through this together.
There may be a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel this week after the president's plan that was announced. You and him have shared the stage before. Do you like the plan that he proposed?
I think the president's proposal is a step in the right direction to try to get the negotiations moving forward. If you look at it, it does provide resources for border security. It provides some legislative certainty for the DACA population, which a lot of people care about. It also provides some resources for the ports of entry, especially to detect those hard drugs and opioids that are coming through. It does a number of other things. Look, it's a starting point. As we get to the Senate this week, we'll be voting on that and maybe other proposals and trying to sit down across the aisle and figure out, what don't you like about it? What can we change? What needs to be added? That's what the legislative process is supposed to be. We need very quickly the House, the Senate, and the administration to come together to figure out a path forward, not the political games, but what do we really need to open up the federal government, to secure our border, to provide our officers and agents everything they need to keep our country safe. Let's do it. This is what their job is supposed to be.
Do you believe that every area of our border needs an actual wall?
Absolutely not, no. Look, we need a bottom-up approach. Every single sector is very different. What do they say where they need replacement barriers? Where is it better that there's a levee system that's for flood control? Where do they need technology or access roads or more agents? And as soon as we secure an area, the cartels are very nimble. They tend to try and find a way to adjust their tactics to do something different. So we've got to be light on our feet as well as we provide the resources for barriers and technology and agents and access road, that we're really using intelligence-driven operations so that we understand what the cartels are doing and we can stop the bad stuff from coming into our country. The Secure Fence Act was passed in 2005, modified in 2006. It was a very bipartisan bill, mandating 700 miles of a double-layer barrier on the border. Chuck Schumer, Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, they all voted for this. So barriers, where appropriate, are a part of a holistic system that can help secure our border. Some of them need to be replaced, some need to be new, but we also have other things we need to do to secure our border and our ports of entry.
All right, let's switch gears now. Last week's conversation, the governor's State of the State address, some concern about Arizona's water future.
Yes.
Do you believe the federal government can and should step in when it needs to if the state can't figure it out?
So there's 7 states plus Mexico that are coming together with a drought contingency plan. So this is a really important thing on the agenda for Arizona with this legislature and the governor. They have a 31 January deadline in order to ratify their plan. If they don't, then the federal government by law will start to step in and direct the states what to do. Nobody wants that to happen. So our hope, and we've been in close coordination with the governor and also with the Bureau of Reclamation, the commissioner, I met with her last week, that we are tracking on the progress happening in Arizona and the other states. Once Arizona ratifies their plan, which we are hopeful will happen, then we'll be introducing legislation to ratify the plan that the states have agreed to. So that'll be the federal role. That's our hopeful way forward here. Expect me to be leading on that effort, get all the states together and get that legislation on the president's desk so that Arizonans decide what their future is related to water, and we don't have the federal government telling us what to do.
You have significant border and military experience. Coming from Arizona, you're in the Senate now. Do you get the sense that you have a seat at the table despite being a newcomer to the Senate?
Oh, absolutely. There are very few veterans serving in Congress and in the Senate, and my now over 30 years of experience on military and national security issues. I've only been there a couple of weeks, but already I see that other senators are looking to me, and I'm having a very strong voice on the Armed Services Committee and in other roles as a leader, as a senator for our state and our country, to fight for our military and make sure we can keep our country safe. And there's very few border senators. There's a lot of of people who talk about border issues, but they don't live here, they've not been here. And so in these conversations, even right now, about what is it going to take to secure our border and ratify the updated NAFTA agreement, which is another priority of ours, and have better infrastructure at our ports of entry for more jobs on both sides of the border and a growing Arizona economy, I'm already seeing that I'm a strong voice in those issues.
We have, new breath here in Arizona with you and Senator Sinema. How would you describe the relationship between the two of you moving forward as you're both fighting for the state?
Yeah, well, we're already working together on a number of issues that we worked on together in the House. I want to make sure people realize, because often the media asks the question, the campaign's over. Senator Sinema won. I have been given the opportunity to be appointed. We are both now serving alongside each other on behalf of Arizona. And our approach is what's best for our state moving forward. And where we can find common ground, we will continue to. We are working on some land exchange bills and some other things that we worked on in the House. We're going to keep working on together in the Senate.